Hey everyone, as Dana has shared with us, it is Fair Housing Month. I did not know there was a Fair Housing Month, but now I know it's April every year. So Dana, how you doing?
I'm great, thanks.
Been fun talking about fair housing, Section 8 pros and cons. Now we're going to show people how they can use the Hemlane platform to really protect themselves, understand, leverage both fair housing, Section 8 as they move forward as landlords. So why don't you go ahead and pull up the application and see what you got?
Great. So, the biggest thing I would say is you don't want to waste anyone's time. You want to make sure that your qualifications are there, very transparent, so everyone knows exactly what it takes to qualify. So let me just jump into it, and I'm going to start with your marketing of your rental property. So I'm going to jump on into one of these here. And with any of these, say this is this is unit one that I have. Down here, I can put requirements, right? I always say make these really clear of what they are, and you can put in as many requirements as you have in here, but really make sure you have your requirements set and that it's public information. It's always very when it's very opaque and you're like, oh, you didn't qualify because of this. People start thinking, was it me? Is it because of my race, religion, sex, whatever it is? So really make sure you have those in there. And then when you go through the process, and I'll go ahead and share this with you, once you go through the process of it, your goal is to make sure that every candidate has an equal shot of one, scheduling a showing, getting to get their application in, and if they're asking questions, go through and do that. The reason I bring that up is, and this was a while ago, but in like 2013, there was actually a study done that showed that African Americans had received fewer showings and than any other race. In other words, they were responded to fewer times, etc. And so by having it set up where someone can go and see exactly when your showings are, through your objective criteria, that makes it really clear of, just as a heads up, this is what we're looking for. And it's objective. There's nothing about upload a photo of yourself or anything like that in there. People also ask me, why doesn't your application have driver's license upload? I say that's for the lease. Once you've accepted the person, then you ask for the driver's license. You don't ask for it during the application process because there is someone's photo on there, and you don't want that as part of the process, as part of the criteria. And so it doesn't look as beautiful because there's not these photos of the tenants, even though there's a photo of you. It makes a lot more sense from a fair housing perspective.
You've got to define the box. Go back to episode 1, right? You got to define the box. You don't want to validate, or you don't want to cause a problem.
Yep. Then the other thing we do with the application is, if someone does go ahead and apply, we don't automatically run background and credit. I've seen a lot of instances where technology companies try to make money off these background and credit checks. They charge a lot of money, and people go through the process and then they get denied anyways. Right. Because, hey, your credit wasn't qualified anyways. It's like, well, why didn't you tell me that? Like, here, we actually have the requirements listed right here in the advertisement, and we send that out. But it's also one of those things that if you're going through the application and you see something where their income isn't high enough, or they've said, yes, I've had an eviction on my record, because we ask, do you have any evictions? Please tell us about them. Why waste their money to run the background and credit check just to get denied anyways? And so there's processes that are put in place, that we put in place, that I highly recommend, whether you're using software or not, that you put in place to make sure that, one, you're not taking money from others or having a software platform take it, and that everything is really transparent.
I like that. It really hurts me, but these tenants out there, they 25 or 50 or whatever dollars they're charged, and the property manager is making $10 or whatever it is on it, so they just push everybody through it because they make $10 a pop. That's very I hate that. That makes me feel icky.
Yeah. And tenants usually will not, like, if they submit an application and their application comes in at the exact same time as another applicant, right? They both went to the same showing, their applications are right there, and one of them has credit that's like, 4 to 1 and yours is like 2.7, then it's one of those things where the tenant, if you bring the other tenant through the process, a background and credit check, and not the first one, they're probably going to understand that. But if you take both through the process and then decline one of them, that's when they get upset. They're like, hey, you weren't going to accept me because the other one had those qualifications you had of 3-to-1. And now you're declining me. That's suddenly when they're going to call fair housing and say, I think there may be some discrimination or something unfair. I haven't seen it so far of like a free application. Our application's free. We don't charge for it. We don't allow upcharges on it. And part of that reason is it's like, you're not trying, it's not supposed to be a revenue generator. It's supposed to be a qualifier.
No cost plus. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, exactly. And actually our background and credit check is $30, which is the minimum that TransUnion will allow us to do. We can't even go below that because that's their minimum. But I do think having those processes in place and, talking to the tenants, even with the pre-qualification, when they schedule the showing, after they schedule the showing, contact them, talk to them, say your expected move-in date is what date? I could take you through the process, but if someone comes sooner, we're going to have to deny you, because if someone comes now and you're looking in 2 months, I'm going to have to accept them. Are you okay with that? So, go through all those details and make sure that that's really transparent, because if you go back and say someone's ready to move in, or at least sign the lease and pay now, even though they're not going to move in for another 15 to 20 days, at least it's very transparent and you let people know. So anyways, that's the process. You will see all of that in the system as well as under your prospective tenants of everyone, when their showings are, how qualified they are, everything's in here, the pipeline. And you'll see when it was last updated, when they first became a contact in the system. This is really helping to make sure you're following fair housing, right? And making sure you understand, okay, here's everyone, here's the status, here's the ones we're moving to the next part of the process.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. So again, folks, I would tell you, if you're a new landlord looking out there, we've already talked about the box. I would go get the 30-day trial. Where can they go get the 30-day trial, Dana?
Yeah, you can go to hemlane.com. We have a 30-day free trial, but we also have the code ZUBER, ZUBER, capital Z. If you, it gives you 20% off your first year if you do decide to continue using Hemlane, which of course we hope you do. But you can come here, advertise your property to 30 rental listing websites, get showing set up, all of that kind of fun stuff for free for your first 30 days.
And folks, what I would tell you to do is go back and look at the playlist called Hemlane. There's a lot of videos. The application is there. Lots of stuff to help you understand how to do your job more efficiently, to find the box, see what's going on, track maintenance requests, all kinds of stuff to play with. Go do the 30-day trial. Check out Hemlane. That's great. So Dana, thank you very much for your time.
Great. Thanks for having me, Michael.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.